Hi Stampers, I'm Nancy Novak from stampinup.com. Welcome. Well, today is day 5 of our stenciling classes. And if you've missed any, go back and watch them because you can always watch them on the replay. And I think you're going to really like them. I'm showing you how to use the stencils, little tips and tricks, really, really easy. And today we're going to make a fun fold, a fabulous fun fold. So I'm excited to share it with you. And make sure you're subscribed, invite your friends, the more the merrier, and let's make a card. Hi Stampers, welcome back. I'm Nancy Novak with stampinshout.com, and today is day 5 of our stenciling card classes, and I want to show you today's card real quick. So it is an easel card. So it props up like that. So it's nice just to put on the shelf or on the counter, and it folds flat to mail. So I'm going to bring in today's supplies. So you know we're using the Abundant Beauty masks, which I'm calling stencils. And another new item is the Distressed Tile 3D embossing folder. So these items are available September 6th. Unless you're a demonstrator, they're available now. And then I'm also using the Timeless Arrangement stamp set for some of our sentiments today. So what's nice about the stencils or the masks is you can use them with any stamp set. So earlier we used the Sending Smiles stamp set. So we used that for a few cards this week. And on our Christmas card, we use the sentiments from the Brightest Glow stamp set. And again, today we're using Timeless Arrangements. So the stencils are inexpensive. Doesn't require a lot of supplies, just ink, paper, and the stencils. And then, of course, any ribbon or embellishments you want to add. So I've had a really, really great time this week playing with these stencils. First time ever, and I'm really happy with the cards. So let's see. We're going to have a card base of white that is 11 by 4 1/4. And then I already scored it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. So the way we're doing that is we're folding it in half like we normally would. And then for the front, we're going to flip it back. And this is how we're going to make our easel card. So I also have a couple of white pieces for the front and inside, and a couple of matte pieces in Berry Burst. And then I also have another white piece, and this is the same size as the front of our card. So it's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and glue this on right away. So I'm just putting glue on this flap that we folded back. And then I'm going to take the large white piece, which again is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I'm just going to lay it right there on top. And that's going to be the front of our easel card. So I went ahead and I ran the smaller piece, the 5 by 3 3/4, through the new embossing folder. And let me see if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's really cool, really pretty. So that's also a new item that's in the mini catalog, and that comes out on September 6th. So let's see. Let's put some more of our card together. I can now glue the matte piece and the embossed piece to the front of the card. And for the inside, I'm going to put the matte piece, and I'm going to stamp on this. So that's as far as I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on the inside piece, and I'm going to stamp this in Berry Burst. Hope your day is filled with everything good. So I can go ahead and glue that to the inside of our card. And I have one more bit of stamping to do, and this is going to be embossed. I have 2 more little pieces of stamping to do. So I'm going to bring in another stamp. And I'm going to bring back in the Berry Burst, and I'm going to stamp. Let me stamp on the smaller piece here. And this one says, "Love you." And we're getting all our pieces put together before we put the card together and before we do our stenciling. So I'm cutting this down. This is going to be our little tag right on the front. I'm just going to banner the edge. Just like that. And then on this piece here, I'm going to do a little bit of embossing. So I'm going to bring in the Versamark. And I'm going to stamp "You Make Me Smile." That's going to be right on the front. And I'm going to use white embossing powder and heat that up. So I'm just going to cut this down too. I think all we have left to do is stenciling our flowers. So let's get that done and then we'll put our card together. So to make the flower, I'm going to bring in a scrap and I'm going to go ahead and tack that down with some washi tape. And then I've got a small stamping piece that's about 2 3/4 by 3 7/8, but don't worry, I will have all the measurements on my blog. And I'm going to start off with the flower stencil, and I'm going to have the tick mark up here in the top right. And I have the little piece of paper underneath there. And the flowers on the stencil are larger than the piece of paper. I'm also going to tack down this little piece of paper once I get it where I want it. Okay, so now the stencil's coming in. I'm going to line up the stencil at the top. And I'm going to bring in a pencil. And once I get it where I want it, I'm just going to mark it with the tick mark. And I'm also going to put a pencil here and a pencil there. And I'm also going to tack down my stencil so it doesn't move. Okay, the flowers, I'm going to use Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, and Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start off with the Berry Burst. The little flower I'm going to do in Daffodil Delight. And I'm using a little bit of the Calypso Coral. Then the large or the medium-sized flower, I'm going to do all in the Calypso Coral. So now I can take this stencil away. And I'm going to bring in one of the circle stencils. And I can line it up again because I have my little marks. And we're going to tape that down. So for this stencil, the one with the little dotted, I am going to go ahead and do it in the same color as the flower. Take a peek. And then I'm going to bring in the full circle. And again, I have my tick mark up there. And I'm going to tack it down with my little bit of washi tape. So for the full circle, I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight. And a little bit of crushed curry or Calypso Coral. I'm going to peek first, see if I like it. So that is our flowers. I just love the way they turned out, really deep, rich tones. But now we have to do the leaves. So I bring in my last stencil here. And on this one, I'm kind of going to do my own thing, so I don't have to worry about the tick marks too much. because I cut the piece of paper down. The stamping piece is smaller than these leaves. So I'm just going to add a few leaves here and there, and I am using Mossy Meadow for that. So again, on this one I really don't have to tape the stencil down because I'm going to put the leaves where I want it to be on the piece of paper underneath, the stamping piece. But I am holding it nice and firm when I'm inking it up because I don't want it moving. Okay, let's get all this messy paper out of the way and see what this looks like. Okay, it's really pretty, and when you see it with the card, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So we're stenciling a little bit more here, so I'm going to bring my scrap back in, and I'm going to bring in this herringbone stencil, and I have a little piece here that's 1 inch by 3.5 inches, so we have to do a little bit of stenciling on that. So in the middle is Berry Burst, and one end is going to be Daffodil Delight with a little bit of the Calypso Coral, and then the other one is going to be all Calypso Coral. Okay, that is good. That's exactly what I want. Now we're going to finish putting our card together. Okay, so we have our stenciling done. Turned out beautifully. So we're going to glue this piece to the matte piece, and we're going to glue the herringbone piece to the matte piece. Okay, we have all of our pieces glued, and now we can put the rest of the card together. So on this, I am going to bring in my dimensionals. And I'm going to pop that up right on the front. And then this piece we put on the inside, and you pop it up on dimensionals. So this piece is going to go right down here, and it kind of fits. There's a little white border from the inside, and this is going to hold up our easel card. That's going to be the little brace to hold it up, just like that. Okay, now this piece we're just going to glue down. Just like that. And then this piece we're going to put underneath our bow. So let me bring my ribbon in. So I'm going to tie a bow, and then we're going to put that banner underneath it. So I'm just kind of looking to see how long I need this banner to be. I'm going to shorten it just a little bit. And I'm going to glue this down. So I kind of look where I want my bow. I'm going to stick that on in a second with the glue dot, and I'm going to go ahead and put the banner right there. So that's today's card. It's a little easel card. I love it, love it, love it. It's so pretty. I really like these because you can just set them up on your shelf, and they're just pretty to look at, and they close flat for mailing. So I hope you like that. I hope you liked all this week's cards. Don't forget to leave a comment. Comments are entered to win today's card. And let's do a little recap. So we started off the week with a summer card. we stamped inside. And then our pretty sunflower card, so bright and cheerful. And then we went into fall with, we stenciled all the different color leaves for our fall card. And then we did our pretty Christmas card with the snowflake stencil. And then today we did both the sunflower stencil with a little bit of the geometric shape. So I hope you liked all this week's cards. I hope you were inspired. And don't forget, the measurements and the shopping links will be on my blog, stampinshout.blogspot.com. And if I can help you out with any of your stamping needs, I would love to do that. Go back and watch any of the videos you happen to miss. And I will see you next week. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.